talk about making some money. Huh?
And ladies
Well,
and
you've already been doing that all morning, right? We've already been talking about making money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the numbers really, really quick, and then I'm going to tell you why. You ever heard of little kids, you know, when they ask you a question, you answer that question, then they say why, then you answer that question, they ask you another question, they say why. You know, because they're trying to, you know, they're just learning, right? So they're trying to get to the bottom of the issue, right? And so that's what I want to do this morning is I want to talk about why, okay? Because, see, you got 1 million comp plans in the world, and they all got different numbers. But, you know, and so, you know, any person that understands a calculator, or if they got a mathematical mind, they can go through those numbers and tell you what the numbers say, right? But guess what? That doesn't mean a thing. You can't put something to the numbers. Am I correct? So we got to put something to the numbers. So I saw somebody had a pointer.
This is the DMV
I'll go fast.
conference here in
And then I want to tell you why. Because to me, when I look at like a pay plan, you got to know why. See, if you don't have confidence and conviction, and you don't know why you chose that pay plan, then what good is it, right? Because if you don't have something to fuel you, you know, you can have the best car in the world, but guess what? If you don't have any gas, you're in trouble, right? So you gotta have something always fueling something. So let's do the numbers. You get started, of course, you get 15% when you sell a retail product, right? So somebody books a hotel on your website, there's a $10 CD. We take a percentage of every product and we call that CD, commission value. Does that make sense? That's what we're going to pay. We're going to use that to pay out. So if you were, and just getting started, you were MD, you get 15% on that. Okay, so they book a hotel or somebody buys coffee. Every product has a CV. You go to the CV chart to see that, okay? And then, of course, when you start recruiting people, bringing people into the business, your first recruit you get $10. As a matter of fact, you get $10 on your first two, okay? All right, let's see what I've got here. Okay, so you get $10 on your first two, that's A and B, okay? And then that promotes you to EVP. Okay, obviously, all right. So now you're EVP, and then you'll get a 25% match on those first two people forever, as long as they're in the business, okay? So if you go out and you get somebody that builds a really great team, guess what? You're going to want that 25%, right? I say for some people, the 25% is more than 100% of their own efforts. Does that make sense? So, you know,
this is the DMV cash flow conference
it's more than a lot of people, 100%. Okay?
This is my
all right, so then you start with your third person. Now, sometimes there's a lot of talk about the first two. Well, they go up to your upline, you know, they go to my upline, they went, none of that's true, okay? People in the same spot, they've always been, it's a spot on the computer, that's all it is. Okay? But here's the way you answer that question. Somebody asks you, well, what happened to the first two, okay? Well, the bottom line, have you ever had a job where you started at the top position day one? No. Have you ever had a sales job where you started at the top position day one? No. So your first two people, your upline help you, they train them, and you split the commission. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right, so you get $10 on each of your first two, your upline gets $25, and then you're going to get a 25% match on that forever, okay? So it's a training sale, isn't it? Does that make sense? Your first two are training sales, okay? Now, start with your third person, you train, you start building, and you still make it help on that one. This thing takes forever to change. Mm-hmm. Is the battery there? It's on. All right, good. So now, start with your third recruit, you get $35. Okay? All right. So that's called your base shop. So that's the equivalent of if you were a real estate agent, okay? You were working with a broker, they were splitting your commissions, and then you got your own real estate brokerage. So now you're out building your own shop, and you now got 100% of your own, and then you can bring in people and get a percentage of theirs. Does that make sense? So that's a pretty simple concept, isn't it? Okay? All right, so it's not switching yet. All right.
There you go.
Hey. All right, so then on that person's first two people, okay, there, of course, you bring in C. When C brings in C1 and C2, C is in the position that you were when you started, so they'll get $10 on the first two, right? Mm-hmm. And you, on those first two people, that they bring in, you get $25 each, okay? All right. And that continues to infinity. So the bottom line is, when you look at our comp plan, many people spend all day, every day, recruiting A, then B, then C. They're always looking for a new person, right? But they really could just help their downline and they'd have an unlimited number of people to see. I have downlines where I recruited one person and that downline is now hundreds of generations deep from one recruit. So you can go deep because think about it. If I bring Keith into business and I help Keith get two people, A and B, and now when Keith has A and B, I can go to A and B and have A and B get two people, and I can keep going like that to infinity. And getting $25 forever per person. Or I could bring Keith in. When Keith gets his two people, A and B, I say, well, I don't have time to fool you anymore, so then I go get somebody else. And leave Keith over the train and keep building those people. Does that make sense? So tap rooting is very important because you can go deep to get wide. Because watch what happens, okay? And when I created this pay plan, I created it to make it so that it would pay you to be a trainer and a mouthpiece for your downline. Okay? Just gonna get there in a minute. Oh, I see why I take someone else. You know, June's I call him the professor. He's really, really good at it, He's really detailed, me. I just gotta give you the high spots and we keep going, right? Alright, but we do need details, alright? So, when you recruited C, and C, let me back up one, okay? So, when you got C got two people just like you, then C got promoted to EVP, right? So, his EVP is like when you get your own shop. So, now that C has two people, okay, C moves to your first generation. And now they're starting their own shop, and G is on, so it's like, as an example, you got your parents, and so your child, so then when you get grown, start your own household, now you start your own generation. Does that make sense? Yes, so that's where the wording and the terminology comes from. Everybody got it? Yes. All right, but the first two people that just went too fast, from the first two people when C got C1 and C2, when they got their two people, okay, then you can see that they moved to your first generation too, didn't it? Now that happens forever. So if you went deep, if you have person A get two people, and have those two get two people each, and have those four get two people each, you could go 1,000 deep, get paid $25 on each one of them, and all those people would come back to your first generation. So theoretically, you would never have to look for new people. It's like when I recruit people, if I recruit person A, what I do, let's put a name on it. So let's say I recruit Keith, and I would say, okay, Keith, who do you know? So I help Keith change his W-4, set up his tax, all the things that we talked about this morning. I make sure he get all that going, right? And then I said, now Keith, who do you know that you would like, that you think would need, that you would like to help, or people that need this same financial information that you got? Now there's a great chance that he probably knows 10, 15, 20 people right off the top of his head that he can talk to about that. Does that make sense? All right, so bottom line, we get those people on phone, or we get them on a webinar, and now I help him get those two people. So if he's got two people, guess what? When I go to his two people, I'm going to tell them the same thing. I'm going to go through and have them get the W-4. I'm going to have them minimize their taxes. Have them get all the things set up financially. And then I'm going to say, who do you know that you would like to help, or you think would need this same information? So it's a warm market concept. And I understand, there's all kinds of concepts, and I'm cool with that, right? But I like the warm market. Some people like the cold market. I like the warm market, because the bottom line is, I've had people introduce me to hundreds of thousands of people over the years. And if people like you, then guess what? They'll help you, right? I even have people send me referrals. They're not even in the business. They're like, well, right now I'm retired. I don't want to do anything else. I'm doing fine. But I know somebody, and the next thing you got more referrals. That makes sense? Now, Alvin Curry was a referral to me by a lady in our church in Tacoma, Washington that never joined our business. Wow. Okay? So he only, that was only about 30,000 or 40,000 people, right? that I make a whole lot of money on. Does that make sense? Okay? So it's just that simple. So yes, in today's society, more and more people are going to a cold market, recruiting a stranger, right? But I don't want you to be confused that that's the only way you can recruit. Because some people say, well, you know, your family don't love you. Well, my family love me. You know, some people say, you know, your friends won't do business with you. But my friends do business with me. So everybody's not in that bad boat right now.
No.
You know, some people say, in that bad, no friends left. I got a lot of friends left, right? So you can, you know, so it's not a debate. It's like I was talking to Ryan Fitness in Atlanta about 3 weeks ago. It's not a debate whether you want to go warm market or cold market. It's your choice, or do both. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. But don't let anybody tell you that you can't build a warm market, and that's just a crazy way of doing business, and you just got to go out there and try to find some strangers, because that's not true. Okay, that's not true. All right, you know, it's like I always tell a story about, I called my mom many years ago, and I told her I need to make some money. So she went to the church, and she says, my boy need to make some money, and y'all need to buy some stuff from him. And that's the presentation, right? It's just like if I needed some money tomorrow, I could go to my pastor, and he would tell some people in the church, hey, you need to go talk about stuff, because he's a good fellow, and I want to help him. There's still value in being a nice person. All right. So let's go further. So that goes on to the finish. So let's watch this thing, okay? So obviously these people are going to get to it. See, it just keeps on going. Everybody in your base shop goes, it comes on your first generation and it goes by, okay? All right, so let's go further. If I can ever catch up with you and stuff here. Man, this thing is slow too. All right. And I'm clicking as fast as I can go. Alright, so you can see how that keeps on going forever, right? You ever seen binary plans where they say get two, get two, get two, get two, get two, and you can make $1 million? Well, there it is. But guess what? If you do go out and get a fourth person, watch what happens. Well, it's going to eventually happen. So now you can just get you another person, and you can go to infinity there too. To infinity width and infinity depth in your base shop. And everybody pops out in your first generation, you tell them to do the same thing. Get 3, get these. Because the first 2 get you promoted, and the third person starts your base shop, and you go deep to infinity forever. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right? So you can definitely build your business that way. Now, let's go further. Let's see how this, okay? So, let me go back here. So this is the way it's going to look, okay, when you start building one. See all those teams you're building? Okay, C, C1, C2, that's all your personal recruits in them. Mm-hmm. Okay, it keeps going wide there, all right? So, you know, because you can have somebody that can recruit 200 personal people, and then they go look for the 201st personal person. Or they could go and help person number 1, and number 2, and number 3, and number 4. And as soon as they help one get 2 people, then now that person needs some help too, right? And it's the same pay. So, for me personally now, that's just me, just out of you, okay, because you do a lot of ways. If I recruit kids, I would prefer that sit down a few minutes with kids or get on the webinar. I do almost all my stuff on webinars, okay? So rather than drive across Atlanta, I'll just say, hey, get on this private webinar, and we'll just do a private webinar because it's free. Anybody get one that's free, and you just sit in your office or sit at your home and do it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I would rather ask kids, I said, who do you know that we can talk to? Rather than saying, let me go find another people. It just makes sense to me. It just makes sense to me. Okay? All right. So if we can get through this, I got something else to say, but this is not. All right, I'll say this. You can go back and read this page. Okay? So the bottom line, the same thing starts to happen with your team. It starts to happen with your team all over again, see? So you had a person, you had to see, they're on your first generation, they got the same contract as you. Now watch what happens. they went to your second generation. So that's like your grandkids did. And then your great-grandkids, right? Those got no, my mom, she had great-grands, I'm like, oh, she got too many kids, right? All right, see, so it starts to happen all over again. So literally, let's talk concept. Y'all go watch the video and back off. It's okay. But you see, so what happens here is when you continue to build your business. But let me tell you what's important about this comp plan and how you can get somebody to join the business because of the comp plan. Okay. All right. When you see people in MyEcon making $5,000, $10,000 a week in income, they recruited 3 or 4 people that week. Literally, I've shown many people. They recruit 3, 4, 5 people that week. They'll have 10, 15 people in their base shop. But because that system keeps bringing the money back up, you see what happens? No matter how deep you go in your base shop, it comes back up to your first generation. Mm-hmm. So they might get paid on 500 people on their super team, but they only had 3 or 4 recruits because that's team building. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it's a big difference in those things. So the 2 things that's most important when you're talking to somebody about why they need to get involved in MyEcon from an income basis, and you should add that, is number 1, people need to change their pay system if they want a different pay. See, no matter where you're working, if you're working a job, they have your job slotted for a pay range. Okay? No matter what job it is, the CFO and the powers to be in the company that you're working for, they've already slotted your job at a certain pay level. Am I correct? Right. They got a high level and they got a low level, right? And you're not getting out of that level unless you get promoted. And the higher you go, the less promotions that there are because there are less positions. Does that make sense? All right, so if you sit down talking to a friend, you're talking to somebody online, you're talking to somebody, you're telling them about why, so you've gotten all the way down to the pay part of MyEcon, the numbers are important, but not that important. What's important is for you to convey to them that if you want to change your income, you need to change your pay system. See, I always wanted to be a millionaire. That was the only job, that was the only thing I ever wanted to be was a millionaire. Okay? So you can't work a regular job and say, I want to make $250,000 a year. It's not realistic to have a job where the highest paid position is maybe $100,000, and then you come up and say, I want to make $25,000 a month. Mm-hmm. So you can start in MyEcon, and you can even start part-time without taking any risk because the government's going to pay the bill. And now you can sit here and tell this person, hey, the reason you need to join this is because you can change the way you get paid. See, right now, on a job, you get paid one time and on yourself only. You work an hour, you work a day, a week, whatever the wage is, and you get paid one time, right? And you're only getting paid on your effort. If you don't work, you don't get what? Paid. All right, so that's the first thing. You got to pay system because you're only getting paid one time. With a leverage and residual pay system, you get paid on yourself and other people. Now, some people will come back to you, they'll come to you with this mindset that, well, I don't want, other people making money on me. But here's the reality, okay? Some people ain't never going to get no money if somebody better than them don't make them some.
Right.
Okay? In other words, if they only going to get paid on themselves, they never going to get rich, right? And then here's my position, right? Here's my position, right? I needed to put myself in a position so the Lord could bless me unlimited. Amen. See, I wanted to put myself in a pay system where I could get unlimited pay because I'm going to pray about my business. Mm-hmm. There's a gentleman in MyEcon, Mr. Edward Townsend. He's down in Houston, Texas. And Mr. Townsend's a good guy. Man, he was struggling for years and years and years. And when I go places, he drive me sometimes. And I told him, Mr. Townsend, he's not an eloquent speaker, he's kind of shy and all that. He was just struggling. He was doing all kinds of stuff. I said, Mr. Townsend, have you ever prayed about the business? No, I never thought about that. I said, well, you do know that I got all the money, right? started praying about the business. About a month and a half later, he was driving through Greenville, Mississippi, and all of a sudden, he stopped at the mall, and he got a recruit and started making a little bit of money. Then about 4 or 5 months later, he was walking in the credit union in Little Rock, Arkansas, and he had his shirt on that said MyEcon, and a guy walking out the credit union asked him, says, "What does that mean on your shirt?" Because the guy was a financial advisor by the name of Charles Thomas. Well, he introduced Charles Thomas to me for him. I recruited him. He got in business. A couple years later, Charles Thomas recruited a young lady in Atlanta, Georgia, that recruited Brian Bailey. Wow. So all of a sudden, Mr. Townsend went from not making money to a 6-figure earner based on when somebody else made him because the Lord blessed him.
Right, right.
See? And that's the way it works. You might have to help your friend and your family member understand that no matter how much of all that they think they are, they might need some help.
Right, right.
And when you put yourself in a system that's leveraged, you can get paid on the time, money, effort, education, and labor of multiple people, not just yourself. And then if they're still not quite understanding it, then you need to ask them, well, why are you helping your boss get paid?
Right, right.
Since you don't believe in it.
This is the deal.
Why are you helping the CEO of the company that you work for make money if you don't believe in leverage income?
Co-founder Ivey Stokes.
If they don't believe it, why not it? Because that's what they do. They're enabling other people to make money on their time, money, effort, education, and labor. Am I correct? And then not only do you get paid on the time, money, effort, education, labor of multiple people, you get paid multiple times on the same client. Because you recruit somebody and then you get paid residual on them every single month. So that's the number one point. Change your pay system to get leverage and residual income. Here's the last point. And here's the biggest one. If you get this when you do anything in life you want to do financially, the biggest misconception in America financially is and has been that the way to wealth is to work and save. And there's nothing wrong with working and saving. You should work and you should save, okay? Working and saving is a good thing. It's an honorable thing. It's a good thing. But America wasn't built on work and save. See, you sit down sometime and do the math, how much you got to save. You save $1,000 a month. For 5 years, you put in $60,000 with a good return, you have $100,000. And you still won't be close to retirement. Am I correct? But see, here's the reality of it, okay? In Deuteronomy 8:18, the Bible, God says, I give you power to gain wealth. He says, I give you gifts that make room for you at the top. Now, why is that important? It's important for this reason. The wealth in America was built from gifts. It was not built from work and save. Let me show you what I mean. Let's take Heinz. We'll take several companies. I can go through all of them. You get a little recipe that you bring over from Europe, and you need some money, you start putting it into a product, make some ketchup, make some mustard, make some other ideas. You start selling in the market, the next thing you know, you got a $1 billion company. Let's go back over to Kraft. Does that make sense?
Right.
Let's bring it to today. Let's go over to Netflix. You got a $9.99 business. It's just an idea that you didn't even make the product. You made $100 billion on an idea. They didn't even make the movie. They just came up with an idea of a different way to sell the movie. At $9.99 a month, you can view the movies. So now they got a company that's worth 100 billion with a B.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix has more market value than Disney.
Wow.
Let's go to Facebook. Okay, where do human beings get their ideas? See, he didn't learn how to build Facebook at Harvard. It was an idea that was in his head, and ideas in your head come from God.
Mm-hmm.
See, it was a gift. Where does music come from? It comes from a gift. So they made millions of dollars, billions of dollars in Hollywood with gifts. So you can take your gifts and your skills and you can turn it into assets that give other people value in their life and make you rich.
Mm.
So when you start understanding that, and when you start explaining that to your friends and your relatives and your coworkers, and then you can sit down over a cup of coffee and say, well, I understand, so they're like, well, see, I don't want to do my little networking thing, see, because, you're not going to lose your money, And then obviously, that's real crazy because the government paid the bill, right? You save one tax and it costs you paying the thing.
Right.
And then they went, I'm just going to work and I'm just going to save. Says, okay, I can understand, I respect that, that's a good thing. But here's the problem, have you ever done the math on what it's going to take for you to get $1 million in your retirement account? And $1 million in your retirement account, 8% is $80,000 a year. You're making $100,000 now. So how are you going to live on less 20 years from now than it takes you to live today? See, the math don't work. So the people that follow, work, and save struggle their entire life from generation to generation to generation. But when you start understanding, I got to have a pay system that allows me to take a gift, a talent, a learned skill, and that I got for free. And I can turn that into money and wealth for my family. Now you understand why it says you have power to gain wealth. And then you can move from a position of hopelessness to a position of power because you say, I wasn't left hopeless and helpless because God gave me a gift.
Right.
Everybody understand?
Mm-hmm.
See, when you start understanding that, then you can put numbers to the numbers. See, just the numbers in a pay system, it don't mean nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you get the conviction behind the pay system, see, when I see myself, I was 21 years old, and I said, well, Lord, I want to be a millionaire, right? I'm buzzing every day like that, right? And so, so I'm getting job offers, right? I went to a good school, got a good education. I enjoy working. So, I could have gotten the job. I did 2 interviews, got 2 job offers. I turned both of them down because I knew that I had power to gain wealth. See, I knew I had gifts that make room for me at the time. But now you got to get a pay system that allows you to get paid on those. Because see, if you work for a company and you create something, it's their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to make that simple to your friends when you're trying to recruit them, say, look, everybody buy houses. Everybody pay for a house in their life. It's just renters don't own.
That's true.
Renters buy houses for the owners. Am I correct?
Yes.
So it's the same thing with a pay system. Everybody has talent. Everybody has skills of some kind. And do you really want to rent your skills out to accompany your entire life?
Mm.
Praise God.
Mm.
Do you really want to spend the next 40 years using all of your skills and talent, and then you knowingly sign the letter the day one that says, look, I'm willing to work for you for the next 40 years, and all that I create you can have. See, When you talk to your friends like that, oh, they keep going to work on their jobs. But they recruit. See, they recruit. And see, you can do it part-time. But when you start telling somebody, look, I'm willing to give you all that God gave me. I'm willing to let you have all my time, all the fruit of everything that I built. And see, this pay system will do that. Because why? You're going to get leverage, you're going to get residual, and the asset that you build is yours. See, just like Spencer, right? He made upfront money. He get paid on other folk, well, he be sleeping and eating popcorn. All right? But then, now he's built a business because he understood it. We've had a lot of conversations about this because we're such good friends. And, but he gets residual income. But guess what? When he leaves this earth, his business goes to his heirs. That's leverage, that's residual, and that's ownership of an asset. See, very good. That's what you need a pay plan to do. See, on a job, you don't have any of those three. And that was the motivating factor for me. I can't give somebody all that God gave me for free. Thank you very much.